The first one is a goal I set myself every single year. I'm really rubbish at it. I forget a lot. I feel like we got off on the wrong foot. None of that toxic diet culture up in this YouTube channel. I am constantly running around and burning myself out, and it's not always real what you see.
Hi guys, this is Emma Bluey's vlog.
Oh, this is gonna go in the bloopers or something. I can beep it out with like a beep noise. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Emma here, and I have not sat down and done a video like this in so long. I feel like most sit down videos these days I start and say the same thing, but really it feels like it's been ages. I have been home for the last week and a half, 2 weeks for Christmas, and today is currently New Year's Eve. So I thought, what better time than now to sit down and reflect on the year that's just been and the new upcoming year of 2022. So I thought today's video would be really great if I did a New Year's resolution sort of video. I don't know, I've never really done proper New Year's resolutions before. I think every year I have one sort of thing in my head that I want to focus on or get better at, but I figured, you know what, 2020 and 2021 were all a bit of a mess because of COVID, and we didn't really know what was going on. And if you did have New Year's resolutions, like, you know, they were probably thrown up into the air by the pandemic. So I kind of figured like 2022 might be, fingers crossed, touch wood, back on track to be a normal year. So I thought, right, this seems like a really good time to actually get some solid New Year's resolutions in order, just to give my life a little bit more direction. I was thinking the other day, and I've been talking about it with my friends, that the idea of university kind of structures your life for you, and you know where you're working towards. Like, you want to get good grades on your assignments, you know, want to work towards your exams and things. But once you're outside of that university bubble, you're kind of in charge of your own life, and it's really hard to know where I'm going. I've got no set destination now, so I'm just kind of playing it by ear as I go. That said, I'm not going to have any like solid goals like, yeah, I want to become this kind of person by 2025, or this is the career I want to see myself in for the rest of my life. But I figured it would be good to have some general New Year's resolutions and share those with you guys, because, you know, maybe you're looking for some motivation, maybe you want to put some goals down on a bit of paper. As I've said, mine will be general, nothing super specific, and more about me as a person and my personal life, because I don't want to confine myself to really set specific goals, because life changes all the time. COVID has taught us that, you know, things are always changing and we can't always plan for them. But I think having a good set of general goals to improve me as a person, or to improve my character or my skills, and, you know, all of that sort of stuff is probably more important than having a really set fixed plan, which will just go out of the window as soon as we're at the end of January, and I'll start working towards something else again once I have a little bit more life experience. So if you're ready to hear my general New Year's resolutions, stay tuned and let's get started. So I just want to keep this short and sweet. I've written down 6 goals. I thought I could have probably produced a list of 10 or 20, but is it really realistic that I'm going to follow 10 or 20 goals? So I tried to keep it to around sort of the 5 or 6 mark, because I feel like you can remember 5 or 6 goals and you can work towards those, but maybe anything more than that, and I think even 6 is a bit much, but any more than that, I think I would definitely forget that I'd even set myself New Year's goals. The first one is a goal I set myself every single year, and I have achieved it step by step every single year, just a little bit, but I never feel like I'm fully successful in it. And that is to drink more water. I'm trying all the time to drink more water. I'm really rubbish at it. I forget a lot. I don't really like water. I'm not like a fizzy drinks type of person. And when I say water, I'm including like squash or whatever you call it, juice, that sort of stuff. But I'm just really bad at remembering to drink during the day, and you know, it's good for your skin, it's good for your general health. I just feel like I really need to get in the habit of drinking more water, whether I have like reminders on my phone, or even getting in the habit of like filling up a bottle and keeping it at my desk, and when it gets empty, filling it again. But I just forget. I drink a lot of tea, which I guess is water, but that does have caffeine in it. So just any sort of water or juice drink, I really want to get in the habit of drinking more of. So New Year's resolution number 2 is a diet and food-based sort of resolution, but don't worry, none of that toxic diet culture up in this YouTube channel. This goal is to continue pursuing a more plant-based diet. So some of you will know I've mentioned in a lot of my vlogs that I've been trying to be more vegetarian or just reduce meat quite significantly. So at home I was always raised on meat, then I went to university and didn't really cook myself a lot of meat. The one meat I've struggled to give up is chicken, but I've mostly taken out all meat from my diet, except obviously when I come home for things like Christmas, my family cook for me and I try not to be difficult and say, no, I can't eat this, I can't eat that. But my family have been very understanding and have tried to put substitutes in there like corn mince when they're doing a bolognese and stuff instead, because they know that I am trying to be more vegetarian. That said, in 2022, I want to take that a step further and move towards more plant-based. And by that I mean I really want to fully commit to vegetarian. Obviously there will be some special occasions, maybe like a birthday or a Christmas dinner, where it might be a little bit more difficult to uphold that, but as things go I really want to start being fully veggie. Now last year I was definitely fully veggie when I cooked for myself at home, but I might say, oh, if I'm going to a restaurant then maybe I'll get a meat dish, and I kind of want to stop that as well and just be fully veggie. Obviously for my job I work in food retail, so I do need to try a lot of food products, so that will require me tasting meat. That's not an obligation from my company, but to be good at my job and to get the full experience, I personally would like to try those products. That said, in my personal life, no cooking meat. Hopefully when I go to restaurants, no eating meat, and even further, I want to be more plant-based. So this year I have tried cheese substitutes, like non-dairy cheese substitutes. I fully drink soya milk now instead of dairy milk. I haven't drank dairy milk for a very long time. I think since I moved to London for my job, so maybe 4 months, I've been fully soya milk or tried almond milks and other oat milks, things like that. But I really want to be more plant-based. So I did buy myself a vegan cookbook. Actually, I'm gonna go grab that. So I did pick this vegan cookbook up from The Works, if anyone knows that store, and it was super cheap. It was in like the Boxing Day sales, I think, and it was reduced to £4 and it was originally 20. And I've had a look through this and there are some really good recipes that seem relatively easy. I enjoy cooking as well, and I didn't want to just be that person that was like, yeah, I'm going to be more plant-based and then just eat vegetables and be like, wow, this isn't fulfilling, this doesn't replace what I was eating before. So I picked up this cookbook to actually work out what are real vegan substitutes, what vegetables replicate textures or offer the protein sources that I would be missing if I moved away from meat and things like that. So really commit to being a little bit more plant-based because I want to do my bit for the planet. That said, as a little bit of a disclaimer, I'm also sticking to the mantra of eat healthily but plentifully. This is not like a, oh, I want to become veggie as a diet, or you know, toxic diet culture of, oh yeah, I'm going to become a vegan to lose weight or whatever. This is generally just, I want to be healthy, I want to help the planet, but that does not mean compromising on eating plentiful portion sizes and healthy portion sizes for my body. This does not mean starving myself of nutrients that I need. Like, this is the whole reason I've got the cookbook and the recipes in place, that I know I can make the transition in a healthy way that is good for my body. New Year's resolution number 3 is to keep trying new things. So one of the things I've really loved since moving to London and starting my new job is just how much I've pushed myself outside of my comfort zone. Silly things like hopping on and off the tube or the bus and taking myself off places on my own, or meeting up with work colleagues in areas of London that I've never been to before would have scared me terribly in the past. If someone had said to me, Emma, in a year's time you'll be traveling all over London, you'll be meeting up with new friends, you'll be pushing yourself to go out and visit new places, I would have never believed you. But I really want to stick with that because it's made such a big positive change on me as a person. I'm more confident, more independent, like a more well-rounded person maybe. I feel like I'm a lot more sociable and out there, and I do feel like I have the power to do kind of whatever I want, whereas before I would have held myself back a lot. So I really want to continue with that trend in 2022 of pushing myself outside of my comfort zone, saying yes to more. I had this really bad habit in the past of people would propose plans to me. Hey Emma, do you want to go for dinner this weekend? Or, oh, do you want to go to this museum next weekend? And in concept I'd be like, yeah, that sounds great. And then the more I think about it, I'd be like, oh, well, it's a bit far away and I've never been there before and I'd have to get on a tube and then a bus, which makes me nervous, and I don't know this person that well. And I'd just gradually convince myself out of going, and then I'd text and be like, sorry, can't make it anymore, sorry, busy or not well. And I really don't want to revert back to that, because I feel like I'm a long way from being that person I was then, who was nervous and anxious and a bit shyer maybe, and I feel like this change of becoming more outgoing and confident and pushing myself out of my comfort zone has really changed me as a person for the better. And it means I've gained a wealth of experiences. I've made so many more new friends in my new job at university and things like that. And it's just so fulfilling to have all of these different pockets of friends, life experiences, memories that I otherwise wouldn't have had if I'd just kept saying no. Number 4 kind of contradicts what I've just said, but I think I can definitely have both of these goals as my New Year's resolutions, and that is to slow down. So I kind of feel like I've gone from one extreme to the other, where before I might have held myself back and not done a lot at all, and now I'm kind of making up for all of those lost years by really pushing myself out there and just doing so much. Like, you guys have been following my vlogs, you know I rush around London every single weekend. Even during the week after work, I'm constantly like out for dinner, meeting friends, going to museums, art galleries, off to Cambridge again to see my university friends, then I'm coming back home for Christmas, and it just feels like I am constantly running around and burning myself out, and I need to just slow down. I say, talking extremely quickly. I need to slow down and just give myself personal time, me time, time to regenerate, sleep, relax, do things that I enjoy, like focus on my hobbies, whether that's reading or arts and crafts or making my videos, or even just sitting and doing nothing, just listening to music or something, or maybe even getting into podcasts. I've never been into podcasts before, and that's something I'd really like to try. So yeah, maybe that's what I need to start doing, like having that balance between pushing myself out and trying lots of new things, but also giving myself the space and the time to recuperate so I can keep doing all of those fun things without burning out. Number 5 is a resolution I struggle with every year, and I kind of feel like, as I said, I've never really had set New Year's resolutions and goals, but there are always things in the back of my mind that I'm like, I should work on doing more of that. And this is New Year's resolution number 5, to move my body more. And now I haven't said exercise more or run 3 times a week or sign up to a gym, because I don't think that's realistic for me personally. I'm not someone who's ever really enjoyed exercise. I didn't really enjoy it at school when we were forced to do it. As an adult, I've never really took to any sort of sports. At university, I wasn't really in a sports society. That said, I don't want that to hold me back from just moving my body more, and I feel like I have been doing that a lot since I've started my new job, because I need to walk to the train station and walk back, or I'm in London every weekend pacing around the city. But I think exercise can be what you make it, and it doesn't have to be you forcing yourself to gym 7 days of the week to feel like you're moving your body more. And I'd really like to, I don't know, heal my relationship with exercise. I feel like we got off on the wrong foot when I was forced to play hockey in the winter at school in a pair of oversized blue shorts, and I just felt like a bit of an idiot. And maybe that's where all the trauma from exercise has come from, you know, playing in the freezing cold and feeling like I wasn't that good at sports. But, you know, maybe 2022 is the year to find the right kind of movement for my body. And I'm hopeful for this one. I know I'm going to struggle with it a lot, but when I did Couch to 5K last lockdown, I loved it and I thrived on it because there was nothing else to do to get outdoors. Like, we were trapped inside, so running 3 times a week for Couch to 5K was my one escape from being stuck in the house. And obviously that's kind of fallen out of my routine now. I damaged my knee, but there must be something out there for me, whether that's a Zumba class or HIIT or what do you call it, like the cycling sort of classes, like spin classes. Like, there must be something out there that is some form of exercise that I enjoy. Rock climbing, hiking, just there must be some form of exercise that doesn't involve me going, oh god, I've got to go on a 3rd run of the week this week, I hate running, because that's not healthy either. And I'd rather not force my body to exercise and do something it doesn't enjoy, because that's just going to make the relationship worse. And it means I keep going through these peaks and troughs of exercising loads then doing nothing for like 6 months. And I really want to get better at that and just find a regular, happy, healthy way of moving my body that I enjoy and is good for me. And finally, New Year's resolution number 6 is one I have given a good attempt at before, but only for a short period of time, and that is to reduce my screen time. Get off my phone, my iPad, my laptop, whatever it is, and just reduce the amount of time I'm sat staring at a screen, because in my job, I sit and stare at a screen all day, and then when I'm in my breaks or my lunchtime, I will sit and look at a screen all day, whether that's watching Netflix or checking my social media. I'll log off and I'll scroll and scroll and scroll, and I have that like addiction to scrolling that we all have, like being in this technology age, and I just need to snap out of it. I think coming home and seeing how beautiful nature is and how many nice things there are to see, and after being trapped inside because of the lockdowns and because of COVID, it really makes you appreciate the outdoors, the scenery, what there is to see out there quite a bit more. So I would like to reduce my screen time, and I feel like I'm definitely on my phone far too much. It's the first thing I see in the morning, the last thing I see at night. And last year for Lent, I did give up social media. Not so much screen time on my phone, but I did delete all of my social media apps, and I was really good at that. For the whole of Lent, I actually didn't go on my social media, maybe apart from like 1 or 2 little blunders, but I could let myself away with that because it was my first real attempt at just not touching social media. And my goodness guys, I can't tell you how much better I felt for it. I felt so much more refreshed, so much more present in the moment, and like I was actually living my life and enjoying my experiences. I was giving more of myself to other people and more time to myself as a person. Like I never felt like I was absentmindedly, like half-heartedly listening to someone and just thinking, oh, I need to check my phone. Or, you know, when you're at a dinner table and your phone's on the table and you kind of like, you flick it over and you're, oh, I'm just checking the time. Oh, I've got a notification. Then you get sucked in and then you unlock your phone and then you sit and you scroll and then you think, hang on, I'm in company. Like I should be enjoying my time with this person. And if COVID has taught us anything, it's to be more present, enjoy the moments while they're here, enjoy the people around us, because life is too short and you just don't know what's around the corner. Social media is also really damaging, I think, for me personally and for lots of people. Like I have very negative self-esteem and low confidence because of social media. I log on and I see those Instagram bikini models and I think, wow, I don't look like that. Or I see your influencers who have a really great diet in place and are always at the gym and have a tan and are always flying out to Dubai, and it just makes me feel rubbish. And I'm like, you know what, Emma, you have a good life, you have a lot going for you, you have great friends, great family, appreciate more of what you have and stop comparing yourself to other people. And that's something I have always really struggled with. I think as soon as I log on social media and everyone's just presenting the best version of themselves and the best versions of their lives, and it's not always real what you see. And I know that sounds quite hypocritical coming here as someone who has a YouTube channel and a public Instagram, who shares, you know, the beautiful moments of my life, but I do like try to keep it real, maybe more so on my vlogs or my Instagram stories, where I will admit to you when I'm having a really rough time, I'm missing family, I'm crying every day because I want to go home, I've had a bad week at work, or I haven't seen friends for a while and I'm lonely. Like there are so many things that I try to be realistic with myself and with you guys about, because I know the damaging effects myself of seeing other people posting about the perfect side of their lives and thinking that is 24/7 in their lives when it's just not. So yes, reducing screen time. That was a really long way of getting to reduce my screen time, but I guess there are lots and lots of reasons for wanting to reduce my screen time. So those are my 6 New Year's resolutions that I will be committing to from tomorrow, 1st of January 2022. Let's see if I manage to stick to any of them. I really hope I do, because I feel like they will all have positive, healthy changes in my life and I'll feel better for it and more refreshed and present and happy as a person. That's not to say there won't be some days where I trip up or some resolutions that I might struggle to, I don't know, achieve or aim towards, but that's the whole point of resolution. Pushing myself outside of my comfort zone already and trying to achieve resolutions that seem difficult, you know? Let me know in the comments, are you coming up with some New Year's resolutions for 2022? I'd love to hear about some of your resolutions. Maybe they'll inspire me and I can add to my list. Or even let me know if any of my resolutions have inspired you. Are you taking on board any of the ones I've mentioned and putting them onto your list? Let me know, I would love to hear. I hope you have all had a wonderful 2021. I hope we can leave the bad and the stress and the upset in the past. Let's not forget there were good moments in 2021 as well. And best of luck for 2022, everybody. By the time this is up, it will be the new year, so happy new year, everyone. And I'll see you in 2022. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.